Gino. Absolutely wonderful seeing you today. What we're going to do is make sure we're in tune. Play an E major, see if we're in tune together. Wonderful. First exercise is called a spider exercise. Don't overdo it, but 5 minutes a day, do these at this speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. The concept of this is we're going to be playing 1, 2, 3, 4 with our fingers. If the fourth finger is hard to do, pointy, yada, yada, to get that stretch, yeah, drop out the first finger there. But what we don't want to do is fling that finger out. We want to actually hover right around the fretboard, so we're just looking like we're a spider crawling up a water spout. Here's what they look like going slow, medium, and fast. All downstrokes, keeping the fingers on. If you play these and you go to the next note and you don't hear it, that means one of these 3 fingers is muting it. You could lift all them up very slightly and try and play that. And what it does is it gets your fingers to register the idea of don't go far away, but don't touch the string. These downward strokes all the way to the top and then start again. In a week, going for 5 minutes each day, you should be able to do at least 16 to 12 rotations of this, meaning you have 24 opportunities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 13, 21, 24, and then back. You have all these different examples on how to make contact with one note. Whole point, get away from flat notes and play them as pointy notes, right over the top of them, like an arrow sticking into a dartboard, or a dart into a corkboard. That is called a spider exercises. For this time, on day 5, switch to up. Till that, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these are going to be downstrokes. Don't put your fingers on the base of the instrument. If you're going to play near the sound hole, which is fine, you can play up here. It doesn't matter where you play it, as long as you're getting individual notation. The whole reason of this is to hear. So you can even do it without having any notes played. Another thing is, you don't have to play with the pointy side. You can play with the flat side. It works just as well. When we do this all downstrokes for 5 days, do them all as down. On the 6th day, maybe try the same mechanism, but do up plucks. Once you got this down after that 6th day and 7th day, keep the up plucks or the down plucks, but don't do alternating. Do one or the other. Then we're going to switch from individual notes and doing like down, 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 down. These are 8th notes. After the 8th notes, we're going to try doing something called a tuplet. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See how that takes a little bit more finesse? After that, we would have 16th notes. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2. Harder with downstrokes. Harder with even upstrokes. And I could guarantee you, once you get through this spider exercise idea after the first week and the second week, by the 3rd week, we switch to alternating down, up, down, up, down, up, and you start to immediately flow between your strings because your hand is used to the attack on each individual string at least 4 times. Times, I don't know how many times you would do it, maybe 2,000 or 3,000, hopefully. That's the whole point of spiders. The next one's called a teeter totter. So take any chord that you know how to play, that you use 2 fingers or 3 fingers, and see what happens. Here it is through the idea of a chord that does not use 3 fingers. A major is played by many people like this, meaning you have 3 fingers on the fretboard and 1 finger for awesomeness. I try and teach to play with 1 finger and then 3 fingers for awesomeness. The concept is when you play your A major, you're going to be holding down these 3 notes and leaving open the high E string. Thusly, your finger needs to do something like this, where it bends backwards to leave it open. Practicing something like an A helps the fingers get better at it, and then moving it up to a B flat major helps with bar chords. Just the same way as if we played an E major and then moved our finger off, put one back where it was, put that over here, and then pinky on, we have the exact same chord. Well, in the beginning, rhythm and notation is a little hand in hand, but we don't think of it that way. So what I've devised is just by playing on the 1, going up for the and note, down as a rest, up for the and, down for a rest, up for the and play that one again. We can play chords like an E major, going 1, rest, place, rest, place a finger, rest, place a finger, rest, and then play it on the 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and when we do this in the beginning, we're playing a whole note with 4 beats, utilizing the rests to put our 3 fingers down and alternating them so we get the same chord, right? Well, when we do it on the 1 and the 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? We end up moving 1 finger and then 2 go together. And eventually when we're doing all downstrokes, our fingers stop layering and they start moving together in one felt swoop. That's the reason why you develop really good rhythm. Because if you can do alternating fingers on the same chord, heck, when you're doing different chords, it makes it a lot easier just to forget about your rhythm and add eighths. Mama Pajama rolled out of bed, ran to the police station, and Papa found out and began to start his investigation. So what we do is we practice 1 chord at a time with different fingerings, and then we get good at moving it up to a bar chord. We play E major, E minor, A minor, A major, D major, D minor, C major, yeah, C minor, G major, you guessed it, G minor. And all of these end up being movable past the 5th fret. Why? That's a quadrant. That's a quadrant. That's a quadrant. And then we're back at our octave. And then we just start again. So most of the things that I teach, these spider exercises really outline all of the notes that will be caught up in a pentatonic system. I call it the exoskeleton, or the outside. And the way we view it is we're able then to see what notes correlate with our major scale, and what happens with our minor scale. Oh, sorry. And what we do is we teach all the other scales and modes from there. So one thing I want to leave you on is another little example. I'm going to do it in a short for you, and it's all 3 ways to play your scales. Now, don't work on these unless you want to go above and beyond. We're going to talk about this next week. All we're really primarily looking for this week is that you take this bulk video, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but not that fast. All downstrokes, getting through them several times, and then utilize a D major or an A major or an E minor or a G major to do the 1, rest, rest, rest. This is going to give you the ability to move in betwixt 2 different chords. So when we do have secondary fingerings, we can move them anywhere on the fretboard, make a bar, and get the same kind of chord shape and get the notation value that we're looking to get. So if we're playing something like A minor to E minor to D minor to C major to C with the B in the bass, we can move that up to A sharp minor to F minor, or we would call that B flat minor, to F minor. I did that D minor, well now it's a D sharp minor or an E flat minor, and then we did a C major, so now it's a C sharp major, and then a B in the bass. So everything we did in this positioning can be done in another. It's weird making your own capo or your own bar chord, but we're gonna really nail these out. Concentrate on your spider exercises and your teeter totters for today. Aloha.